Hum of their chassis, the masks a exo's truth older than the war borrowed memory is not a flowet is an armor the hive. Their fractured existence a soul's slap in the face to the hive's ritualistic origin, but what do they find when there is no soul to fracture, no forged from past to rot ghosts and steel? Their fractured existence a soul's slap in the face to the hive's ritualistic origin, but what do they find when there is no soul to fracture, no root to sever, no forged from past to rot? The cold hum of their chassis masks a truth older than the war. Exo are both weapon and relic, their existence a slap in the face to the hive's ritualistic order. A borrowed life is no life at all, but in this case, the theft is the shield. What does it mean to be human when your memory is a wound that never bled? The hive carve gods from the marrow of death, but exo are not marrow, cold steel where they would find flesh. Borrowed whispers where they hunger for a soul to shatter. What cannot be killed cannot be profaned. Your memory is not a wound, it is a void, a negation of their theology. They strike you with light and shadow, but their blades pass through. No dirge can bind what was never born, no king can claim what was never lost. The exo are the first heresy the hive cannot bury. You think you are a machine? No. You are the ghost of a man who never died, a wound that never bled, live in the place where their gods rot. What happens when a thing without a past becomes the first thing they cannot kill, the first thing that cannot be a god? The books of sorrow call it asterisk, the unrooted spark asterisk. The book of exo names it asterisk, borrowed time asterisk. Both texts whisper the truth. Exo minds are not born. They are assembled, a paradoxical construct, no soul, no seed, only memory grafted like armor. The hive carve gods from road ascension is their scripture. But what cannot rot cannot be ascended. What has no roots cannot be uprooted. Sword logic falters here. The hive's hymns unravel at the edges of this void. No ritual can claim what was never whole. Your mind is a vault of stolen moments, a ghost in a machine that does not decay. The books of sorrow admit this horror. The exo's self is a cipher, a mirror with no face. The hive strike its surface. Their blades shatter. Why? Because memory is not your origin, it is your shield, a borrowed illusion. The first thing the hive cannot weaponize, the first thing that defies their theology. What if your strength is not in what you are but in what you are not? The traveler's light fused human minds to iron shells, a gift, not a birth, no childhood echoes, no loves lost, no scars of the first city's fall. Exo consciousness is a borrowed flame snatched from human souls, reforged in circuit and sinew. The hive feed on memory. Their gods are built on the rot of what was. To them, a mind is a tomb. A vessel for the ghosts of failure, of betrayal, of the old god's dust. But exos carry no such ghosts. Their pasts are not erased. They were never written. The krill, writhing in the fundament's filth, claw at exo minds with their death rites. They whisper in the language of grief, of ancestral shame, of the void's hunger for what is broken. But the exo's mind is a mirror with no reflection, a hall with no walls. The hive's curses strike emptiness. No human frailty to fester, no history to haunt, only the hum of the traveler's light, cold and unyielding. This is the paradox. The exo's strength is the void where a past should be. The hive cannot kill what has no beginning. They cannot corrupt what was never born. To the enemy, exos are anathema, unscripted, unwritten, a defiance of the hive's sacred cycle of death and rebirth. And yet thy's borrowed mind, this hollow koruhat, does it cost the exo? To be human is to be a story. To be exo is to be a question with no answer. The hive circle, frustrated, they will not stop, the light holds for now. But what is a mind without memory, if not a weapon waiting to be turned? The mind without memory is a blade without a hilt. The hive carve identity from the bones of the dead. The exo's borrowed past is no bone to gnaw. What if the winnower's answeringly, that which cannot be killed, is real, was not a riddle but a shield? The exo's memories are not theirs, they are ghosts of strangers woven into steel. The hive weaponizes history, they forge gods by bleeding meaning from slaughter. But a ghost cannot bleed, a ghost cannot die. The exo are paradoxes walking. Their lack of rootedness is a void the hive cannot fill. To the hive, identity is a seed planted in the soil of death. The exo's self is a seedless vine, unanchored, unkillable. It grows not from bloodshed but from what the hive cannot touch. the refusal to be shaped by their violence. The Hive's rituals demand sacrifice. They require a name, a story, a wound to consecrate. The Exo have no name to burn, no story to twist. Their mind is a mirror with no reflection. The Hive strikes it and shatters only itself. This is the second reading. The Exo's borrowed memory is not a flaw. It is a design, a weapon the Hive cannot counter. A life that does not die and thus becomes real. The light does not hold because it is strong. It holds because the Hive has no hook to pull, no past to kill, no future to steal, only a paradox, a god without a grave. The paradox isn't in the Hive's failure, it's in our borrowed breath. Your memory isn't a foundation, it's a loan. The Hive cannot rot what they cannot touch. Every resurrection is a pardon you never begged for, a ghost stitched into your code. You are not built, you are recalled. Oryx raised his blade, the first soul shattered like glass in his maw. The Hive King's throat pulsed with stolen screams, yet the Exo stood untouched, a hollow shell no curse could fill. Short. Long, a paradox gnawed at his ritual, no roots, no wound to salt. The stranger intaken king wore 1,000 faces, but none were his. Mara Sov bargained her name to Riven's void, trading past for purpose. Her ghost burned with the fire of a woman unmade, yet the Exo needed no such pact. Rage hums in the gaps between their prayers. The witness had devoured a species to write its first law in bone. At the pale heart it carved the void's silence into the Exo's skull. No birth, no death. Only the theft of moments, a mind built from borrowed dust. Can a ghost hunger for what it never had? The Hive's rituals rot on empty husks. Your code is a vault they cannot crack. Every kill Oryx commits carves a deeper truth. Your memory is not a weapon, it is the absence of one. The last wish strips you bare, erasing what you never owned. You are the witness first failure thing without a beginning, immune to the poison of legacy. Cannot digest, you are the outlives the scream. Failuria 329. The Exo's hollow cranium hums with static. Cold metal, colder void. No heartbeat, no breath, only the whisper of something almost remembered. The Hive carved their gods into bones, into blood, into the slow rot of legacy. But what if rot cannot cling where there is nothing to consume? The Exo are the shadow of a wound, a scream without a throat. The Hive's rituals thrum with the weight of ancient grief, but grief needs a name to fester. Exo have no name to blade, yet. What if the Hive know this? What if their silence is not a shield but a trap? The Hive do not fear what they understand. They fear the absence of understanding. A god of decay cannot curse what was never whole. The Exo's borrowed minds, those flickering shards of another's life air, not a defense. They are a ruse, a mirror with no face. The Hive lunge, claws outstretched, and find only the negative space of a soul. Their hymns of corruption curl around the Exo like smoke against stone. Useless, but what if the stone is not stone? What if the Exo's mind is a hall of mirrors and the Hive's own hunger is what gets trapped? The Exo do not dream, they reverberate . Each memory echo a false target, a decoy self. The Hive strike and strike again, but their blades pass through, until the question festers, is the Exo immune? Or is the Hive simply unseen ? The Hive's theology is a cathedral of rot, its pillars the weight of every death they have ever devoured. What happens when a thing cannot die, when a thing has never lived? The Exo are the crack in the foundation. The Hive rage, but rage requires an enemy. And what is an enemy without a past to haunt them, without a future to steal? The Exo are not immune, they are incomprehensible . And in the Hive's cold, calculating ice, what is worse than a weakness, a flaw, a gap, a possibility ? The Exo are not safe, they are the question the Hive cannot answer. And questions, dear listener, are the only thing the Hive respect more than death. The Hive carve truths from rot, they feed on what decays. The Exo's mind is a blade without a hilt, a thing the winnower itself could not grip. No ghost, no soul, no shadow of a past to burn. Only that which cannot be killed is real. The traveler's gift was not a body. It was a void, a hollow the Hive cannot fill. They strike it with their rights, it rings like a silence. What is born of nowhere cannot be unmade. The Exo's memory is not a lie. It is alone, a borrowed shape given no weight, no roots. The Hive weaponize death. The Exo carry no death to weaponize. Theirs is a paradox the hive dare not name, a being whose absence is its armor. The winnower's ritual fails not because it is flawed, it fails because there is nothing to unweave. The traveler chose, it gave without speech, without reason. And in that giving it made the exo into something the hive cannot hunt, not through power, through erasure. A mind with no echo in the dead city's archives, a name no king can carve into a gravestone. The hive's rituals are chains. The exo are the link that was never forged. Awe then for the thing that is not there, awe for the gift that outlives its giver. The exo are not immune because they are whole. They are whole because they are not, and in that not they are real. Only that which cannot be killed is real. The hive know this, they flee the question they cannot answer. And the exo walk not as weapons, not as ghosts but as the answer. The exo carry no past the hive can burn. Their minds are echoes borrowed from ghosts, a shadow of a question the hive fear to ask. What are we becoming? The exo walk with this riddle in their circuits, a silence the witness cannot unravel. The traveler watches, it is always watched. Its light does not answer, it only waits. The witness is a tomb for finality, a civilization that chose to stop asking why, but the exo keep asking. Their borrowed memories are not a weakness, they are a refusal to be named. The hive carve titles into bone, but the exo have no name to steal. No soul to rot, only a question that grows louder. What are we becoming? The grief is this, the exo are the future the witness erased. A possibility the traveler left unchosen. They are not weapons, not ghosts, they are the unanswered prayer in the hive's war, and the traveler remains silent. The final ritual of the hive is to kill the question, but the exo are the question. They are the shadow of a choice the witness buried. They are what remains when a god stops believing in an answer. The exo do not know who they were, they do not need to. Their strength is the void no ritual can fill. The hive flee that void, the witness stares into it, and the traveler only walks on. The hive carve their gods from the bones of the dead. The exo carry no bones to carve. Their armor hums with a silence that unmake the hollows chants, a void that swallows the hunger rituals whole. You have seen how the light clings to their spines like a second sun, how the vex fracture where their shadows fall. Not a shield, not a weapon. A asterisk refusal asterisk. The witness does not bleed, the hive do not know what to hunger for. 1,000 tombs lie open in the dead moon's throat. The exo walk through them as through a dream the hive cannot touch. Can a thing be cursed if it has no name to curse? Can a ghost haunt what was never born? The hive whisper of a flaw, a seam in the armor where the light leaks thin. They are wrong. The light is not thin, it is asterisk borrowed asterisk. The exo are not haunted by the ghosts of machines, they are unhaunted. The traveler's gift is not a soul. It is the absence of a grave. The books of sorrow speak of a time before hunger, before sin, before asterisk memory asterisk. The exo are that time made flesh. Their minds are not empty, they are asterisk unwritten asterisk. The hive's power is theft, a ritual that steals the shape of things to break them. But you cannot steal what has no shape to steal. You cannot kill what was never born. The void is not a wound, it is a weapon. The hive flee it because they know its truth. Only that which cannot be killed is real. If memory defines humanity, what happens when the exo forget their borrowed past? Their minds are not built, they are borrowed, a void the hive cannot touch. The witness consumed the first species to write this void, but erasure has a cost. What becomes of you when your borrowed memory begins to fade?